This is an audio-only blog post read. I'm going to read my newsletter that I send out on Mondays, the Insight Letter. For those that would rather hear me read it, then read it themselves. This one is called When Chaos Becomes Order. There's a level of perception where what you see appears to be random and chaotic. Then, whether it's from a zooming in or a zooming out, you recognize something else entirely. What appeared to be 10,000 pieces bumping into each other or random events seemingly going nowhere, all reveal themselves to be intrinsically linked with a shared focus and collective direction. What was once the appearance of conflict is now a beautiful dance. What was once the clamoring noises of life and society is now a melody where a single song is being played, gently melting your heart and pointing you back towards stillness. Of course, the understandable challenge here is that when we perceive chaos, it truly looks like the chaos we see is out there. If that were true, then doing something about the chaos would require gaining control over something that is inevitably beyond our control. Sure, sometimes we manage this. We manage to put things in place or get people to do what we want. Yet, every time, all of these pieces return to their home beyond our control, doing what they need to do, which our conditioning perceives as random chaos. My intention here, as always, is to challenge the assumption that things are as we perceive them, that what we think is happening is indeed really happening. I'm inviting the opening of our hearts to the possibility that beyond what we think, believe, and imagine, there is a divine symphony of order that desires only what is best for the sincerity of our hearts. I understand how, at times, this might be incredibly difficult to see. However, that too, the difficulty, is part of the divine symphony. Perfectly placed is our struggle against what is, our struggle to control what is beyond our control. It is the pain contained within this struggle that invites the sweetest surrender, opening the aperture in the lens of our perception. Such an opening, allowing more light, is the only remedy that makes the image clearer, making clarity the natural state of our being. I wonder if we can see this together right now, that the chaos, the suffering, and the emotional disturbances are only evidence that we are not seeing clearly. Compassionately, throughout our lives, we've built up a collection of misunderstandings. We were born into a confusion that taught us something that was so far removed from what is real and true about you, about life, and about the experiences you've traveled through. However, and again, this too is not a mistake. This too is a song that sings of the opportunity we have to remember, the opportunity we have to melt our hearts into the sweetest reunion between what we are and the miracle of life as a whole. Gosh, as I write these words, I feel like I can see your face, reach out and touch your heart, and feel your pain. I wish you could see the smile on my face right now. This smile doesn't judge where you are or how confused you might be. Instead, it simply says, I love you. It's a smile that sees beyond the confusion, recognizes who you truly are, and invites you to be here with me right now and just breathe. There's a beautiful healing paradox that ends the conflict between your very human struggle and the opportunity to let it go. This isn't a fight against the struggle, a conquest over inadequacy, or a desperate attempt to reach a future where you're never afraid again. This healing paradox is like traversing the cosmos without moving a muscle. It's like moving a mountain by faith alone, or like a moment of insight that reminds you just how perfect everything is, including you. I laugh a little on the inside because I know how impossible that might sound to a mind that doesn't see the miracle it's swimming in. Here's a question to consider, and it might be one of the most important questions we will ever ask. Do I want my illusion of a self and world that don't really exist? Or do I want the truth of life that exists within this divine symphony where only love is real. Granted, I understand how flowery or nondescript that might sound. However, it does point to an unnecessary battle we find ourselves in, fighting for what we only think we want, when life has already given us the very thing we crave most. We just don't see it yet. How can I help you further to heal and wake up to this gift you've already been given? Well, there are 3 options to choose from. Join me on retreat this May on the island of Crete in Greece for a week. Join my Deep Divers group, a small community where we meet up regularly to dive deep. Work with me one-on-one, and let's journey together for a while to unravel the misunderstandings. In all options, whether you choose one or all 3, the opportunity is to embrace your human journey and discover trust in the miracle of life that's holding you right now. What I can promise you is that this discovery will have the greatest impact on your life. Not just your overall sanity, but how you show up in the world, in your work or service, and in all your relationships. And that's a wrap. Of course, there are links to those 3 opportunities to support you further. You can check the email you were sent, check the blog post, or maybe it's in the description of wherever you're listening to this. Until next time, aloha and cheers to the beauty that you already are.